Hello, everyone. My name is Alexei. Today we have Parag Mamnani, and we're going to be talking about how e-commerce sellers lose track of the real profit. I can feel it myself. I've been doing e-commerce for 13 years, and if you don't have your numbers on point, you will be losing money very easily. But
For
before
sure.
we
Yeah.
dive into the topic, give me a little bit your story, where you're from and how you get to this I would say, era and e-commerce space.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm the founder CEO of WebGility. WebGility is my second startup. Prior to WebGility, I was at Amazon, managing a product there called Web Store, call it the Shopify that Amazon once had. And prior to that, I ran an agency helping small to medium-sized businesses sort of build and launch their e-commerce stores. So I've been sort of eating, sleeping, breathing small businesses and e-commerce now for over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Um, the problem that you talked about is obviously near and dear to my heart because the key thing that I've seen over the decades is small businesses uh, over time have gotten really good at launching their e-commerce channels, figuring out how to sell online. All the tools have gotten easier and simpler. You can get online and procure products and sell now way easier than it used to be. But growth is getting harder and harder. And even if you grow, can you actually make money doing it? So, profitability is at the center of all of that. And yeah, so I bring few years of experience helping businesses all the way from startups to 7 8 figure brands kind of figure out how they can optimize and grow their profits.
Very nice, very nice. Wow, over 20 years of experience. You beat me. I'm 13 years.
I guess I'm showing my age.
So tell me what exactly WebGility does. Like what exactly, how you find those losses and how your way of fixing those losses.
Absolutely. So I think the way to sort of unpack this is that when you look at a business that's selling on a couple of channels, especially as they're growing from 7 to 8 figures, you get into this place where you have a number of different systems across which your business is scattered. You have a few different sales channels from where your sales are coming in. You're running your ads across a few channels as well. And you now really have effectively a lot of data that's flowing through. And it gets harder and harder to actually figure out where the true profit margin is. At a very high level, that's the problem that WebGility solves. We connect all of your e-commerce channels, we connect your payment processor, your shipping processor, and we pull in the data from your accounting system so that we can give you a 360 view of what's happening with your revenue, all of your fees, your costs, so that you can get a true sense of where your profit margins are at a channel and SKU level. Um, the way we go about obviously doing this is over these years, we've built this phenomenal engine that is able to capture data across all the different sources. And we give you both a dashboard, but the secret sauce here really is that we understand accounting and financial data really, really well. So we can parse through at a line item level all the different fees that you're incurring, all the granular item level details, and we capture those and get them recorded appropriately into your financial system of record, which could be QuickBooks or Xero, or even NetSuite. And yeah, that brings the kind of visibility that most these growing sellers need in order to truly understand where their margins are.
Right. And in that process, when you're doing the connections through, you just mentioned QuickBook, probably banks accounts as well. But how about the Amazon itself and all the fees that they charge? I mean, can you also connect that directly to the ability?
Yes, we do. That is exactly what we do. So we bring in item level details for all of your transactions, and we bring in fee level details from your settlements. So we parse through all the complex settlements that a merchant gets every 2 weeks from Amazon, and we bring every fee level detail and can record that correspondingly into your system of record, your QuickBooks or your Zero.
Yeah, because to be honest, the reporting, Amazon reporting is so confusing and so complex. And I think they make it like on purpose, they're making it like that. You know, it's super hard
uh,
sometimes to actually understand, like you're saying, even forget about it like ASIN level, just at the brand level, how much you're making or losing.
That's right. And what's fascinating is that what you see at the end show up in your bank account is so far from what your revenue and all your breakdown of your fees is. So you get like this net deposit every couple of weeks. And then that's where brands really struggle to make sense of what's happening. And yeah, that is precisely the problem we solve. And, you know, to be fair, like the reason why these fees continue to be complicated is again, Amazon is in itself obviously trying to find more and more ways to increase their margins. But also selling on Amazon is no longer as simple as, you know, you list your product, you incur a fee and you're done, right? You have now a variety of new mechanisms, especially since the growth of FBA. And now you have, you know, a variety of different modalities. You have Amazon advertising, you have capital, you have a number of different ways where you can even incorporate Amazon checkout into your own branded store. So the more complexity in your business, the more line item of fees you start to incur. And boy, the moment you get to holiday season, you start to see a whole new set of fees emerge, which you might have never even thought of before. So, yeah, it's a lot of complexity. And you know, frankly, the way I like to say it is, you know, business owners don't run their business to become accountants.
Right.
You know, they want to grow and they want to continue to make money, and that's the problem we help solve for them.
And the other thing that you just mentioned, yeah, maybe you're not accountant, but you also hire an accountant and they have no idea how to do with Amazon. Like majority of people who are in accounting business, they don't know Amazon at all. Like they don't understand how Amazon works, the fee they charge, and how to deal with that process, you know? And like the
Yes.
other thing that you just mentioned about the fees, I mean, Amazon is charging now low inventory fee, high inventory fee, storage fee, now the Q4 storage fee. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Return fees, and there are
Yeah.
fees because you incurred fees.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's messy. And you're absolutely right. You know, I in fact have a, you know, big pet peeve about this that unfortunately most accountants out there don't even get paid enough to be able to go parse through a lot of those details. So what ends up happening is that most of the accountants out there, if you look at all of the content that exists, they simply talk about packaging everything up as a journal entry and recording it lump sum as like 6 to 8 different fee types. And
right.
that's might sound okay to get your books to reconcile, but you've basically lost all of the insight about which new fees emerged. Why did these fees have, you know, what kind of impact are they making on your margins? So we love obviously working with accountants, but you know, part of what we've seen is that there is definitely a lack of like expertise and there's tons of complexity around e-commerce accounting. So in fact, one of the key strategies that we're excited to kind of talk about today, in fact, is, you know, over the summer, we've added actually a significant new leg of offering to our Webgility. Before, we used to primarily offer software, and as of this summer, we've started to offer accounting services as well. So we actually have specialized and trained e-commerce accountants on staff that can work with your accountant, your CPA, your accounting firm. So we can take a part of your e-commerce kind of headache off of your plate, and we can help you both through software and services get full guaranteed reconciled e-commerce books and the insights you need to understand where are my actual margins.
Amazing. Amazing. Let me ask you another question. So now we just covered the Amazon part. How about the other platforms like Shopify, eBay, Walmart, TikTok Shop now?
Yeah, we cover them all. So we're a
Okay.
multi-channel platform. We cover all the major marketplaces and all of the e-com platforms. In fact, majority of our customers are across those very channels that you mentioned. We over the summer expanded on our offering with TikTok shops as well. Um, at the end of the day, no matter which channel you sell on, all the major channels are covered by us, and it just really depends on what granularity might be available in some channels versus the other. But this is where any place where our software falls short, we have a human accountant on staff that can do the verification and help you close your books neatly.
Very well. One of the questions that I have here that was passed to me from one of the sellers, because again, sometimes we have masterminds and we talk about different softwares and different companies that is out there. So one of the sellers is asking if the seller have multiple accounts, let's say multiple Amazon stores and multiple eBay stores, will that your software have capability to have everything in one place?
Yes, yes. In fact, we're also a multi-entity solution. So if you're using, for example, Intuit's Enterprise Suite and you happen to have multiple entities set up, we can actually redirect, all of the financials from one Amazon channel to one entity and another channel to another entity. But if you have multiple sales channels and you want to pull them all into one GL, we can do that as well. The other kind of critical thing to point out here is not only can we handle entities, but ultimately our goal is to really make sure that your accounting system becomes a system of truth. So we help merchants properly organize their catalog. We help the merchants set up the right set of clearing accounts in their books. So ultimately, you're not just getting reconciliation, but truly to impact your margins, you need to start to look at your cash flow. So you want to understand not every 2 weeks, not once a month, what your cash flow looks like, but you want to see it as it happens. So we bring in data in real time as it occurs on your sales channels. We're bringing in all of that revenue. And so, say a Shopify payout happens every day, we then give you the payout details and reconcile that on a day-to-day basis. And then as soon as an Amazon settlement rolls in, we'll reconcile that. So you're constantly getting a near real-time view of what's happening with your cash flow in your accounting system. And that's just such an unlock for the business owners, but also for CFOs and controllers who are really helping these businesses, figure out ways to accelerate growth.
Tell me a little bit more about that. The cash flow issue. I mean, I don't know anyone who's in the e-commerce business. They don't have a cash flow issue. Okay, so tell me how you handle, because in a cash flow situation, we're not only talking about the sales part, we're also talking about the purchasing part, right? So when you
Yep.
purchase the inventory, how much the lead time to receive the inventory, the rotation of the inventory, how your tool helps to analyze that and to be able to, so people can take
Yes.
advantage of that.
I guess the simplest way to describe it is that we turbocharge our accounting system, right? So if you look at your accounting system, QuickBooks and Xero and NetSuite, I mean, these systems are designed to give you a clear financial picture. The problem with these systems, unfortunately, is that they can't give you that picture if they don't have clean data.
Right.
And most of them don't understand the data that's coming from various e-commerce channels. I mean, you can go out and get a free connector for QuickBooks or Xero and start to bring in some lump sum data, but it does not categorize. It really fails at kind of bringing in the granularity that you need. So that's where it all kind
My
of
books are
starts.
never
Is you
up
have
to date. They always,
that's right.
my
Yes,
books are
this is
never
but
up to date.
I'm going to snag this clip and reuse it on Webgility because that is exactly the message we hear constantly. My books are never up to date. And so constantly, like the first thing that customers, when they come to Webgility, they ask for is, can you do some cleanup work? Because I'm so far behind on my books. The last time we reconciled was March or April, and here we are in August. So part of that is most businesses don't actually have their chart of accounts properly set up in their financial system. And until you get kind of your books properly organized, and you start to get create kind of clean data stream of what's happening across these channels, that's when the true unlock is, and you'll start to see true cash flow and P&L visibility inside your financial system. Now, you talked about, how do you really figure out cash flow? I mean, what are the two biggest expenses, right? Inventory and advertising,
Right.
right? Obviously, you've got your payroll costs, but it's sort of almost like a cyclical inputs. But the two variables that constantly vary are your inventory and your advertising costs. Your advertising costs are more than likely set up to be through, a credit card or ACH, and those are coming in automatically into your general ledger as those bank ledgers get pulled in. But what you're missing is kind of the inventory piece, and so there's a couple of different things we do. First of all, our software doesn't wait for a settlement. We record the transaction as it occurs. So the moment that sale occurs, we're able to actually take that inventory and adjust your inventory account. So it's happening as the sale happens. So you now know your inventory levels in your financial system as soon as the order's been posted in. The second is we also have workflows around purchasing. So if you're running low on stock, you can set up rules so that it automatically generates POs and it pulls in any existing POs as well from your system. So you're getting effectively both control over your incoming revenue, but you're also keeping track of your inventory asset. And that clean data in your GL, along with the workflows of data that's coming in, that's what's giving you that cash flow visibility on an ongoing basis. And along with our sort of complete package that we offer, we actually have an accountant physically going in, working with your team, making sure that not only are you reconciled, but every month we're delivering essentially a financial packet that tells you what's happened from revenue to expenses and your margins across every one of your channels. So we we know that there are a lot of merchants that want software and they have teams internally that can kind of help them massage and figure out the data. But there's also a lot of 7, 8 figure merchants out there who would really just like to outsource this and have someone that's a specialist in e-commerce help them. So we uh, pair them not only with the software, but we are also able to incorporate the human element, which is why we sort of talk about we're the only software company today that also provides this human guarantee. For all the talk about AI, we actually provide the human guarantee.
Awesome, awesome, excellent. So let's. I think we're over with the good parts. Let's talk about the pricing. How
Yes.
much you charge? Because I'm sure everybody's right now is asking, okay, how much it is? How much this
Yeah.
cost? Because it seems very well, but how much that could cost me?
Well, the good news is that there's no black box here. All of our pricing is published on our website. So simply go to webgility.com and click on the pricing tab, and you'll see what our pricing is. Our software packages start from as little as $69, and they scale up with our complete package in the range of about $600 a month for a 8 figure merchant that's doing 5 to 10,000 orders a month on 3 sales channels. So we cover the whole gamut, and we're effectively cutting a significant portion of your operating expenses and your bookkeeping costs. I've not really had a single merchant so far be feel like we're not delivering sufficient value. So pretty happy about our price, and I think we provide a very, very cost effective solution for running your e-commerce financials.
So you said there's different packages from 69 to up to $600, right?
Yep.
What is the difference, and which package offers what?
Yeah, again, our website has a pretty clean comparison chart on this. But the way we like to think about it is we look at businesses in sort of 3 cohorts. We, on the one hand, have sort of what we would call startups or aspirational businesses. These are new, entrepreneurs looking to get going. They've just now launched a single channel, and maybe have 100, 200 orders a month. That's the starting point of that package. Our second plan is our advanced plan, and what we do is this is really for those growing businesses that are now starting to see some traction and have a couple of million of GMV now flowing in through their business, and they're now starting to expand into multiple channels. For those, we have the second tier, and the third is what we like to call more of the mid-market merchants that now are in the 7 to 8 figure range. They now have also a B2B component to their business where they're doing some wholesale. They need automations for their purchasing workflows. And they're expanding to more channels, have more fulfillment models. Um, Something I should maybe also mention is not only do we tackle the orders, but because we deal with the SKUs, we also have a lot of cool features with regards to managing your inventory. So we provide the merchant a way in a few of our packages to actually look at their inventory across their channels and make sure that that's also up to date and in sync. So you generate a PO in QuickBooks and now you've got new stock. With the click of a button, you can send the new stock values up to your sales channels. So your sales channels are always reflecting your system of truth. So there's a number of different features, and if you go through our pricing plans, you'll be able to see them. And also, of course, um, as much as I believe and love AI, we have humans. So if you pick up the phone and you're looking for more information, you'll uh, during business hours, of course, you'll encounter a human that's ready to help you both get um, buy a plan, learn more about them. And all of our packages also include white glove onboarding. So we take care of helping the merchant kind of get set up. And so it's really full service.
Yeah, that was about to be my next question. If that includes the part when you
Uh,
help to onboard and
Include
everything.
setup. Yep.
Yes.
Include setup. Yep.
Awesome. Awesome.
We span the whole gamut. We can help you clean up your books. We can get you onboarded on the software and have you on your way, and you can run and manage your books independently. If you need some help on a monthly basis with reconciliation, we have a human that can help you close your books and get you the reports you need at the end of every month. And yeah, if
With that, I
looking.
imagine it's additional cost, right?
Yes, that is what the $600 package. That's the complete plan that we're talking about. That's the one that it offers. It's a managed plan, and it includes both software and the human, which the expertise comes in effectively whenever you need it on a monthly basis.
Can you transition from one package to another eventually?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. In fact, many customers do. In fact, we launched our managed packages just this summer, and we've already been sort of inundated by the demand for it.
Awesome. Awesome. Parag, one advice that you would give to our listeners.
uh, Focus on your bottom line. I think there's so much emphasis out there about sell more, sell more, sell more. But as we started the call, I think that's how we would end it. Businesses need to get a true sense of their profit margins because they might be leaking a lot of revenue. And it's really important that they not just look at the top line, but have a really good sense of where the expenses and fees are. And having control of that profitability and cash flow, that's the edge that most 7 figure sellers have that helps them get to 8 and 9 figures.
Thank you very much, Parag. Appreciate your knowledge, your help. We're going to have all the information about your company in the bottom of this podcast. And focus on a profit, not as much on sales. Sales will go, but we're automatically going to be growing. Now, if you don't pay attention on your profit, you can be out of the business in no time.
That's exactly right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.